You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Welcome back on air with Chris Shanafelt as we continue our Player Spotlight series with the 2020 NFL Draft Class. And I am now joined by the safety out of Eastern Washington University, Dehonta Hayes. Dehonta, I really appreciate you taking the time this evening. Can you believe that your time as a college athlete has come and gone, and now here you are on the doorstep of the NFL, a week away from finding out where your football journey takes you next?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's the college experience went by pretty fast. I mean, geez, I can just imagine. I can just think about right now just going back and when I was barely leaving high school. And I mean, now I'm transitioning into the NFL. Like, that's insane how fast that time went by. But, I mean, it's honestly an honor, and I'm really, really blessed in order to be in that position to even have this happen.
Yeah, and again, we are a week away from day 3 of the NFL Draft, my personal favorite day, rounds 4 through 7, and then, of course, you got the priority free agent phase after that as well. The craziest day in terms of the NFL Draft is considered. So let's start things off by talking about the draft process itself, Dehonta. I mean, unfortunately, the pandemic caused by COVID-19 has turned this into the most unique draft process I've covered. It'll be your only time, obviously, going through all of this, but where have you been training at over the last few months, and how have you been able to overcome the curveball thrown your way caused by the pandemic about 4 or 5 weeks ago?
I was training out here in Eastern with my assistant strength and conditioning coach, TJ Conley. He was awesome guy. I started training with him around December. Since our season ended a little earlier, I wanted to get jump on everyone else and get training going. So I started training in December, trained all the way up until around early March or mid-March, right before they end up shutting everything down. And, I mean, I got a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills from him that helped me a lot. I was able to loosen the hips, get my body right, my back right, got a lot of rehab in, was able to get everything I needed in order for me to have the best possible pro day leading up to March 30th, which is when it was supposed to be. But with everything being shut down and everything just not being able to happen the way it was supposed to, I just managed to just go down to Oregon and knock one out. And my times came out good, and I was very, very happy about that. With the pandemic going on and everything kind of on lockdown here in Washington, I've just been training by myself right now. Been going to this middle school right across the street from my apartment. Been going there running, doing drills, going up the street to this hill, doing drills there. So I've just been trying to make the most of this situation.
And that's exactly what you have been doing. I mean, I have your mock pro day numbers right here in front of me. I'm going to rattle them off for those who aren't aware. Dehonta, you measured in at 5'10", 205 pounds. You have a 72, almost 73-inch wingspan, and you ran a 4.44 40-yard dash to go with a 4.09 short shuttle, 6.73 in the L drill, a 39.5-inch vertical, and a 10 feet 11-inch broad jump. You matched those numbers up with the safeties that were at the NFL Scouting Combine, and you're right there at the top of the list. That 6.73 L drill was actually better than any of the other safeties that were in Indianapolis. How do you feel about those pro day numbers that you recorded?
It's a little funny, actually. So when I did that pro day, it was a Monday, and the week prior we did a mock pro day just so we can get ready for the actual pro day going forward. I didn't know I was going to go out to Oregon and do that pro day that with those numbers that you have. So when I did my mock pro day, all my numbers were faster than what I did out in Oregon, and the numbers that you listed are the ones from Oregon. So really, I'm even faster than that. I jump even further. I jumped at 11 broad already, and so I am way better than that, and that it's just awesome that I was able to showcase that because those weren't even my best numbers, and those are just the numbers that you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, that just speaks volumes to the type of athlete that you are. And then going back, watching some film, watching some highlights, you certainly see it translate onto the football field as well. And for those interested, they can actually check out your entire pro day workout that you mentioned in Oregon. It's on your agent Evan Brennan's YouTube page. They can just search your name or Evan the Agent, and it'll be one of the first videos that pops up. I know that workout was likely sent to all 32 NFL teams. along with your game film. What has the communication been like for you up to this point with scouts and coaches from the next level, Dehonta? I mean, have you been able to meet with any teams virtually and get a feel as to how they view you as a prospect for the next level?
My agent has been in talks with a lot of teams about me. The Bills have been someone who's very, very interested in me, and I mean, I'm honored. I couple 6-7 months ago, teams didn't even know who I was, and I'm just this opportunity and this whole transition to the next level is going to be one that I'm going to cherish. I'm going to enjoy every single moment of this because nobody knew who I was a couple months ago, and I'm now just trying to make some noise.
Again, we're chatting with the 2020 NFL Draft prospect, the safety out of Eastern Washington University, Dehonta Hayes. And Dehonta, you know I have to ask you, some people love it, some people hate it. What's it been like playing on the red turf over the years, and what's the environment like on game day there in Cheney, Washington?
The red turf is awesome. It's a true symbol to who we are. We haven't lost a game on the red in over 2 years here, so that's awesome. Like, we're undefeated on the red the last 2 years. We just take that. Like, it's just a different feel going out to game day. The fans are awesome. The people are awesome. Like, we have people who drive all over the place just to come and watch us play. I mean, we don't have a lot of seating, so we don't have like 20,000, 30,000 fans. But I mean, the fans that are there are awesome. They are great. They know who you are. They just care about you so much. I can just be walking down the street and fans would just come up like, hey, Dehonta, how's it going? Like, they'll just come and talk to me. Like, it's just a feel that I don't know if you're going to get that anywhere else. Like, you got too many fans. Like, I can go somewhere and I can know one of our fans and I'll be able to say hi and communicate with them. Other programs aren't able to do that sometimes because they have so many fans that you just won't even be able to connect with them on a personal level. And I think that's something that we really cherish here. We cherish that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a family environment, knowing fans on a first-name basis. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Dehonta, you've been the starting strong safety the past 2 years for the Eagles, and as a senior, you led the team with 115 tackles and 2 interceptions. What allowed you to have your most productive season in what was your last go-around at the college level?
I think it's because I'm still warming up. That's what a lot of people. I think that's what NFL teams are gonna love too. Is that I'm just getting started. My freshman, sophomore year, I pretty much just played special teams. Wasn't really a big role at safety at all, really. And junior year, we had a guy get injured. I stepped up, and my first game had 12 tackles. Next game had 11, and that was just my staple going forward. I was like, I'm going to be a tackling machine, and I'm going to make people know when I'm on the field. Went through my junior year. I think I finished with around like 89 tackles or something, and I just wasn't satisfied with that. I'm like, you know what? I can go for over 100. So my goal was to get over 100 tackles my senior year, and I had 115 this year, but I should have got way more. I should have had way more. I just wasn't too happy that I only got 115, which is a lot. But I mean, I'm around the ball every time the ball is snapped. I mean, I'm in or around every single tackle, and that's something that's a testament of what type of player I am. I like to be around the ball. I like to tackle. I like to make big plays. I like to make my presence known when I'm on the field.
Absolutely, and you see it, no doubt about it, week in and week out. I mean, I think every game you played in last year, you had at least 11 tackles in a game. I think there was 1 or 2 games where you had 17 tackles in a game. So you're certainly always around the football, making a play when needed, and obviously that's very important in the last line of defense at the strong safety position. Now, Dehonta, I see that in July, I mean, it's a crazy story. You unfortunately suffered a gunshot wound to the neck. You and a teammate seen somebody getting jumped nearby, and if I'm not mistaken, you guys went over, you stopped it from happening even longer, and then minutes later, both you and your teammate were shot. 3 weeks later, you were on the field for the team's first practice and was ready to go by week 1. I mean, that's almost unheard of, Dehonta. How were you able to do that? What was the recovery process like throughout that time? And, just how important was it for you mentally to just get back on the football field?
I mean, I'm a warrior. That's all I really can say about it. I'm just a warrior. I mean, I've had a lot of friends who've been on the back end of those type of situations to where they didn't make it out alive, and that just shows like I'm here for a reason, and that's why I just put it all in football. I poured everything into football going into my senior year. I mean, I was not going to let anything stop me, and the situation was a bit crazy. I don't know who the people were. I've never seen them before. I've never done anything like that. I mean, they're arrested and stuff, but just going forward, I had to like wait out a week. Like the doctors weren't too concerned about of course I have a bullet fragment in my neck forever, but they weren't too concerned about the longevity, like what's going to happen in the future. They were just like, you know what, everything looks good. It's in a good spot. You'll be okay. Like your neck is going to be fine. It's just going to be in there. And just take a week off. When you're starting to feel better, go ahead and you can start training again. Took a week off, got right back to it, started running hills, started running everything leading up to fall camp. And as soon as fall camp started, I was ready to go.
As you said, you're just cut from a different cloth. You're a different breed. You're a warrior. And I'm not sure how many other people would have been able to return onto the field, especially as quickly as you were able to. I mean, that's just incredible, no doubt about it. A few more questions for Dehonta Hayes, the standout safety out of Eastern Washington University, 2020 NFL draft prospect. And when you hear that, Dehonta, 2020 NFL draft prospect, and now here we are a week away from the NFL draft, I mean, when did it hit you that you were going to pursue an NFL career? I'm sure it's always been the dream, but when did you realize that you had what it takes to make that dream into a reality?
When I was in high school, I was coached by Lawyer Malloy and by John Kitna. And every time I was at practice, so the way we'll do it is we'll have our practices set up. So I played defense, offense. I was a returner. I played everything. So when I was on defense, the whole coaching staff is all ex-NFL players. So then they'll line up and they'll run scouts against us. So when we were doing those type of things, I was guarding, we got Kitna throwing 40-yard bombs down the field on us. Like, we have all that stuff. So we were just practicing, going against NFL guys. And when we would transition to games, the games were a lot easier for us. Kitna would always say to me, you know what, you are an NFL safety. You're an NFL player. He'll always tell me that based off the things that I was doing. But I wouldn't believe it. I didn't, I would hear it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I do want to play in the NFL. Like, of course I want to play in the NFL. And then when my first couple of years I got to Eastern, I wasn't, because I was the guy in high school. When I got to Eastern, I wasn't playing the way I thought I should, the amount of time I should. I wasn't playing safety. I wasn't out on the field as much. So adversity was hitting me. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow this to ruin what the dream is. So then I just put that into my craft. I started working on things, started doing everything I possibly could, started working on my tackling, working on my catching the ball, working on my hands, working on how strong I was, how big I am. I mean, I went from 100 pounds my junior year. Last year I played at 197, and I'm 205 now. Putting on the right weight, but still being able to run a 4.4 while I'm 205. And just all those things are just one thing after another. I put them all together, and it's now, this opportunity is here, and it's awesome. I'm excited. I'm really excited because this is going to allow me to be on a platform that I need to be on. I need to be on this platform. When I woke up after our season ended, remember we lost to Portland State in November. The next day, I woke up, and I was like, you know what? I'm not done playing football. I'm not done playing football. I'm just getting started. I was looking at myself on film. I have so much more to go, so much more to progress. I don't even think that I haven't reached my peak yet.
That's incredible. That's probably one of the best responses I've received in an interview, period. Absolutely love it. And, when you got guys like a Lawyer Malloy and John Kitna telling you, hey, you have what it takes to play at the next level, I'm sure that's very promising.
I was just talking to Lawyer, when was it, maybe a month ago, right on my Twitter. I posted one of my highlight tapes or one of my highlight films, and Lawyer comments, and I'm like, what, can I be considered a big hitter now? Because he plays safety. He was a hitter. But when I was in high school, my senior year, I got awarded with the Lawyer Malloy Big Hitter Award, just because that's who I was. I was the same type of player in high school. I was just a lot different. I have a highlight film called Boom, where it's just me just smacking people for 11 minutes straight. Then I have a highlight tape called The Jet, because they used to call me The Jet because I was really fast. Then that's me showing how versatile I am. I'm playing offense, kickoff returner, running back, wide receiver. I was playing everything. And I'm telling you, when I had the ball in my hands, nobody was able to stop me. That's for sure.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It doesn't get much better than that. So you got guys like Lawyer Malloy and John Kitna coaching you in high school, and then you land at Eastern Washington, Dehonta, and you're playing alongside guys like a Cooper Kupp, on offense, Kendrick Born, or on defense, Samson Ubukam, who has become a quality player for the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, you're practicing against these guys that go on and have quality NFL careers. Being around that talent at the college level and seeing those guys go on and do big things at the NFL level, is that a confidence booster as well, too?
It's a huge confidence booster, and it's even more of a confidence booster. Like, okay, for instance, today I'm working out with some of my former teammates, safeties that are going to be here at Eastern for the next couple of years, and they're like, what really makes me go even harder is they're like, today my friend Anthony Gurley, he plays safety here. He's like, you know what? He's like, I just want to say like you're like, thank you so much for this. And I'm like, for what? He's like, because you're opening up doors for us safeties. Like, we haven't had a safety or a defensive back go to the NFL since I believe it was Matt Johnson. J.C. Sherritt played in the CFL. He just retired, but Matt Johnson played for the Dallas Cowboys. So we haven't had a safety in so long. So this is opening up doors for those behind me, and that's what I love, because it's the same thing that Samson and them did. Samson is my guy, really my guy. We talk all the time. Simba as well. Simba's always telling me, like, bro, you got this. Simba's also signed to Evan as well, so we have the same agent. And who else? Cooper, he literally paved the way. I mean, the way he watched film, the way he worked out, the way he talked, the way he acted. When Cooper was talking, Cooper was somebody to listen to. Kendrick, me and KB were good friends. We still are. I mean, shoot, he when I first moved here, he was the person I lived with when I first got here as a freshman, and he just taught me everything going forward. And I mean, look at him now. He just signed that one-year, $3 million contract with the 49ers, and he deserved it. So these guys are just somebody who really just showed me the way, and it's just a matter of whether I wanted to grab it and follow them or if I wanted to go off on a different path. And I chose to grab it and follow them so I can do the same thing for the young guys who are behind me.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kendrick Born. I mean, he's one of my favorite stories. I remember I basically had a one-on-one interview with Kendrick Born at the NFL Combine. So many guys not really familiar with this small school wide receiver. He was the other Eastern Washington receiver that year, obviously, year that Cooper Kupp came out. And now here he is, like you said, just signed a $3 million deal with the 49ers. Was playing in the Super Bowl just a few months ago. So that's one of my favorite stories in the NFL. A couple more questions for you, Dehonta, and then I'll let you go. Really do appreciate your time. A fantastic interview, no doubt about it, with a fantastic athlete and fantastic football player that is gearing up for the NFL draft. We're 1 week away. Again, he's Dehonta Hayes, the safety out of Eastern Washington University. Going to hit you with some kind of general questions here, Dehonta, to wrap up the interview. We'll start off with, for those not familiar with your game, how would you describe it? What would you say is your biggest strength as a defensive back?
My game, I'm just a tackling machine. That's literally what I do. I run all over the field, back and forth, up, around. I don't care where I got to go to make a tackle. I'm going to make it happen. Not too often do you see me missing a tackle, and if I do, then I'm back to the board, and I got to figure out what just made me miss it. Like, what was I doing? Was I wrong? Was I overrunning it? Was I not near footing? Did I cross his hip, which gave him a two-way split when he's running the ball? I'm really detail-oriented in my tackling. Tackling is my number one biggest thing that I am. But I'm a playmaker. That most people don't know. I wasn't targeted a lot. I don't think I've never had a touchdown scored on me, like by a wide receiver. Say if they throw the ball up, 50-50 ball, never happened. I've never even been targeted. I've been targeted a few times in the end zone, but there's no way they're going down with the ball. And that's something that people don't realize. They see I got 115 tackles and only 2 interceptions this year. They're like, okay, he's not making that many plays on the ball. I have 5 PBUs as well, though. And I'm a playmaker. Somebody who likes to tackle, and I can make plays on the ball. So I'm a versatile safety. I can do whatever you need me to do.
Is there a current or former NFL player that you like to watch and model your game after?
I'm for sure Buda Baker. I mean, if you look at how he plays, the way he played this year, he was just in the Pro Bowl. He's a playmaker. He is a baller, and I like watching him play. I think I model my game after him a lot. I remember he made a big play. He just posted this on his Instagram. He made a big play on, I can't remember if it was a running back or a tight end. He just runs full speed and just lays them out. And there's a guy, so Buda Baker's not that tall. There's a guy who's like maybe 6'4", 6'5". He's like, how did you just do that on his team? And he's like, I'm fearless. He's like, I have no fear. And he just walks away. In the middle of the game, like his mindset is ridiculous. He's somebody that I look up to a lot. I played against him my sophomore year. It was Lincoln versus Bellevue. I mean, it was horrible. Miles Jack was on their team. Buda Baker was on their team. They had some guys, and they're all in their senior year. So, I mean, man, I'm just excited to be able to show people that I can play the game.
As you absolutely should be, and we'll end the interview off with this question. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're listening to this very interview. Why should they want the defensive back out of Eastern Washington University, Dehonta Hayes, a part of their team?
Because I'm still progressing. I'm still on the rise. I'm still coming up right now. I'm only 22 years old. I'm still young. I'm not even hitting my prime. If you look at my rap sheet, every single year I'm getting better and better. And all I'm going to do is continue to get better and better. With the knowledge and with the skills and with the techniques that I'm going to learn at the next level, adding to what I already have now is just going to create a safety who is somebody who's going to be there for a long time. Being on your team is not only going to help you guys, it's going to help the teammates around as well, because I'm going to be somebody that they can trust. When we're out on the field, you want to be able to be next to people you can trust. And I can assure you that no matter when I'm on the field, whether I'm thrown out there randomly, whether go out there, I'm going to know what I'm doing. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to play confidently, and I'm going to make plays. And that's just who I am. That's the type of player I am.
Well, as they say, the film doesn't lie. The pro day numbers do not lie. And I'll tell you what, this interview doesn't lie, my friend. I mean, this has been one of my favorite prospect interviews of this draft season. You did not disappoint, and you're certainly checking off all the boxes. Congratulations on all the success there at Eastern Washington University, and then making the best of the situation handed to you, dealing with all this COVID-19 pandemic, as the rest of the country and the rest of the world is, but especially for draft prospects. I mean, this has been such a difficult time for you to make the most of it and put up those very impressive pro day numbers. I mean, absolutely fantastic, and it certainly looks like your draft stock is on the rise, and really looking forward to seeing what the future holds for you, Dehonta. Thanks so much for taking the time, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. It was fun talking to you, being able to let you know a few things about me, letting you know how I think, how I operate, just being able to break a few things down for you, just so only you but everyone else can be able to know me a little bit better, since I'm on the rise right now. I'm not somebody who was coming out of college with a lot of politics on my back. I'm someone who's earning it all step by step.